Hey y'all, welcome back. Today we are going to make a sourdough blueberry crumble. It is going to be so good. So let's get started. Grab a bowl, and the first thing you're going to do is make your crumble topping. First, you're going to need 1/4 of a cup of white sugar. As you can see, I measured all of it on the spot, so please bear with me as I try to measure these ingredients out. Then you are going to go ahead and grab your brown sugar, and you'll use 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar. You will also have 1/3 of a cup of flour, 1/2 of a teaspoon of cinnamon, a pinch of salt, and 1/4 of a cup of cold butter. It should be cubed beforehand. I homemade my butter, so it was cut on the spot, but I also ended up using the buttermilk later in the recipe as well in place of milk. I should have measured all of this beforehand, but it was definitely a last minute decision to make this. I had to get rid of some starter from my sourdough that I literally just started, so I was like, why don't I go ahead and make a first recipe for sourdough? I'm definitely going to be making more loaves with the sourdough starter coming up here soon, especially now with it being fall. You know how many trendy pumpkin sourdoughs there are and different holiday options. So I definitely want to try more out with that. It's my boyfriend's favorite kind of bread, so I'm definitely looking forward to trying that out. The next thing you're going to do is go ahead and again make sure that butter is cubed up nice and fine. I should have used a colder butter, but I literally just finished making it. It is unsalted butter, just a quick note on that. I have my daughter helping me out. She is just mixing that mixture up with her hand. You're going to use the butter and crumble it up. Make sure it's well mixed. Make sure that butter is nice and crumbled. There'll be some chunks. It'll look a little powdery. That is correct. It is not wrong. The next thing you're going to do is go ahead and put 1.5 cups of flour, 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt in a bowl and set it to the side. Go ahead and preheat your oven to 375. Go ahead and jump over to your electric mixer. You're going to go ahead and add 3/4 cups of sugar, 1/4 cup of softened butter, and just go ahead and mix that. You'll see when it's well combined, it'll look very light. Then once that's completed, you'll go ahead and add a large egg and just let that mix until it's a lighter yellow color. It doesn't have too much leftover yolk just building up on it, and you'll see when that's done when it's nice and creamy. Grab another bowl, and you're going to go ahead and add 1/2 cup of sourdough starter, 1/2 cup of milk. I used buttermilk because again I just made butter, so I just used the buttermilk from that. 1 tablespoon of lemon zest, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Of course, I want you to make as many dirty dishes for yourself as possible. That way you have fun cleaning up afterwards. I ended up pouring all of the buttermilk into my little measuring cup, so I am just testing out to see when I get to about 1/2 cup. You're going to mix that really well until it's very well combined. You don't see a lot of discoloration from the vanilla. Then you will jump over to your electric mixer once again. You'll go ahead and add those wet ingredients. Mix it on low to begin with. You can turn up the speed if you don't think it's combining very well. It just takes a couple of minutes to get those in there. That's your sourdough and everything that's going ahead and getting combined with that egg mixture. Then you will go ahead and grab the bowl of dry ingredients. I am very impatient, so I just grabbed that bowl of dry ingredients and dumped it right on into the mixer. Then I realized after I dumped it in there that I didn't quite get everything, so I bring it back around and finish getting all that powder out. Go ahead and turn that mixer back on and let it cream. It is going to be a little bit thicker, kind of like a thick pancake batter. After it's well combined, I normally scrape the sides and then send it through my mixer one more time just to make sure I create as many dishes as possible. Then I'm going to grab another bowl, put the blueberries in it, about 2 cups, just about maybe 2 tablespoons of flour just to coat them. Go ahead and grab your greased pan. You are going to put about half of that sourdough mixture into the pan. Make sure that when you put it in there, you spread it nice and evenly. You see that homemade butter right there? Can't wait to wrap that boy up. Then you're going to take it, it's going to be a little thicker, so make sure you push it close to the edges. Once it's nice and even in the bottom of that pan, you'll go ahead and grab those blueberries and put about half of that mixture on top of there. I used a little less than half. Then you'll go ahead and put the remainder of that sourdough mixture on top of that. Again, make sure to spread it evenly. The flour on there should keep those blueberries from sliding around too much, and it being a thicker batter should help with that as well. Don't forget to go ahead and grab that other half of the blueberry mixture, dump that on there. You should have that crumble resting in the refrigerator at this point. Go ahead and grab it, and I will say measure with your heart. You're going to have a little bit extra left over unless you manage to use all of it. I used most of it and had a little bit left over, so I just stored that back in the refrigerator. Then you'll go ahead and stick that in the oven for about 40 minutes. You have about 5 minutes of playtime. As you can see here, this thing turned out crisp. I wished I could suction the smell out of it and infuse it into a candle. And this with a scoop of French vanilla ice cream would have been the cherry on top. The kids absolutely crushed this, and I'm not even going to pretend like this is an aesthetic cutting because it is absolutely not, and that's just part of baking at home. Not everything's going to be picture perfect, but I can tell you right now, this is something that you should all make. It was so good. We've just started our journey of making almost everything that we can at home, and I can say that this is definitely one of those wins. It's a healthier alternative to eating a bunch of junk food, frosting, and things like that. If you want to join us for this journey, please make sure you like and subscribe. We'll be making more content just like this. Make sure you guys go back to my other video where I made the garlic butter, and that'll give you the basis on where to start if you want to learn how to make a homemade butter. It literally takes less than 20 minutes, especially if you're not adding anything extra to it. I needed unsalted butter. All you need is heavy cream. You can also use milk in place of the buttermilk in this recipe. And again, you can use your discard sourdough for this recipe as well. You don't have to have the fresh stuff. So if you like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. And we cannot wait to go on this journey with you. And I'll see you in the next video.